actually my very first time in California, so it's an absolute pleasure to be here. So my name's Jonathan Van Parys, as you can see on the slide behind me. I'm here with our CTO, Olivier, who's in the crowd there, and with Nicholas, who's the founder of the agency within which we built, the founder of the advertising agency within which we built Additionally. And when you think about advertising agencies, actually their biggest challenge is showcasing the value of their work to their clients. And you might think it's an easy task, but it actually turns out to be a really difficult task, simply because they're having to deal with so much data. And the workflow they're confronted with is the kind of slide you see behind me. So you're fetching data from multiple platforms, you're exporting it from one place to the other, you're generating graphs somewhere else. And then when the time comes to communicate about all this good work you've done for your client, you end up sending an email like the one that you see behind me, which is a short email with an attached spreadsheet or PowerPoint. I think pretty much everybody in this crowd here has once received this kind of email, and I think most of us don't really even open that attachment. So these agencies are doing all this hard work, and when the time comes to conveying the quality of this work to their clients, it kind of gets reduced to an email that looks like that. So when you're working for an agency and you're sitting around a group of people whose daily job basically amounts to the workflow you see behind me, you start thinking, surely I can do something to help them out. And that's what we try to do with Additionally. So instead of the kind of workflow you see there, we'd like to take them to this kind of workflow. And we really believe that advertising agencies should be empowered to build stories around their data. And that's still a very difficult task, and that's what we're trying to do with Additionally. So I'm going to talk you through a very brief demo now. I'm just going to move over now. And there's a lot that I could say about how Additionally helps advertising agencies look for the story, unravel the story, understand the data, but I don't really want to talk about that tonight. What I want to talk about tonight is how easy it is to build a story around data using Additionally. So on the right-hand side of my screen here, you see that I can create a new report. So I'm just going to do this, and I'm going to create a report for last month. And I'm going to start off my report by saying, giving it a title, so I'm going to call it May Report. And then I'm going to say something like May was an excellent month, of course, because I did great work. But obviously this isn't enough. So I'm explaining what happened, but I should substantiate this with data. So I can just click on the plus sign here underneath, and I can add some metrics. I'm going to say it was a great month, and in particular, I'd like to highlight our clicks performance. I'm just going to add clicks here, and I'm also going to highlight how much all of these advertising campaigns cost for my client. So I'm just going to add this here, and I'm going to include a comparison to what happened the month before that. So I'm just going to add this block of metrics here, and so it's going to fetch the data there. There we go. And then I'm going to say, actually, I did a great job last month, but it turns out that I've been doing a great job for several months. So what I want to do here is I want to highlight the fact that things have, I feel like I'm a singer here, have been going great for several months. Here we go. I'm just adding a bit of text there. Again, providing context around this data. And so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to add a graph, and I'm going to show the number of clicks we generated over time. And I'm also going to show that this didn't really affect the kind of average price we're paying for a click. So I'm just going to add the metric here, and I'm going to add a graph here. There we go. So we have the two lines. Now the nice thing here is that I couldn't brand this report any way that I want. You know, if my specific client or my agency has colors you'd like to use, well, you can just edit the colors here, and you know, there's live rendering right there in the graph below. And then I can include the logos in the report that I send. And then I might want to say, actually, I'd like to highlight a few campaigns. So I'm just going to add a bit of text here. Obviously, if you're doing this as a job, you might want to add more text than just that. And then I'm going to add a table here. I'm going to add the top keywords in descending order, and I'm going to sort them by the number of clicks. So I can add as many metrics as I want, but I'm just going to add clicks for the demo here. So we're going to get the data, and there you go, you have a list of the clicks. I could even add an image to this report. So you can imagine things went really well on a specific product, and I would just add an image to this report, again, to provide more context around this data. Now, the great thing is, I've done this once, so in a month from now, when I need to send this report again, well, I don't have to do all this again. I just click on Reuse Report, the data gets updated automatically, and I can just focus on providing the context of that data to get my point across. This is what I wanted to show you with Additionally. Thank you very much.
Jonathan, you've done such great work.
Thank you.
You sound like an agency guy. Hands up high. Who can use a tool like this? Don't be shy.
I've got a question.
Yes.
Because it seems like you've been doing this for a while, so you know the industry. Is this industry focused, meaning you're trying to sell to the people who get this? It seems kind of over the head of your average everyday person.
Oh, absolutely. So this tool is specifically targeted towards agencies, and we're actually focusing on small and medium-sized agencies for whom this reporting issue, this kind of conveying the quality of the work you're doing for your clients is really a big issue. It takes a lot of their time up.
So how do you sell it? Is it by the seat? Is it a subscription for the whole agency?
Right, so this is subscription for the whole agency, and obviously you pay based on a number of accounts, of advertising accounts that you manage. So the pricing is pretty simple. It's simply based on the number of advertising accounts that you manage.
And you work with all of the usual suspects? All of the ad serving companies?
No, so at the moment, we're essentially coming out of, we're launching our public beta now, and we're only launching with Google AdWords. Now, that isn't such a big issue for countries like our home country where Google is just a complete dominating force, but it is a problem for coming to places like the US. So we've seen a few agencies this week, and they're basically saying, guys, you need to get Bing on board, you need to get Facebook ads on board, and this is essentially where our product roadmap is going.
All right, I've got a question.
So you said it's not a presentation or a spreadsheet, so what is the output format? What are you sending me?
Oh, right, I forgot to mention that. So what your client gets is this beautiful email with embedded graphs, embedded images, so I can just send this as an email, or some agencies prefer to send this as a PDF, so they can do that too. But as far as I'm concerned, I really think that the output of this should be a nice, beautiful, rich HTML email. Yes?
So should it be SVG? Sorry.
Right, so not to get too technical here, but all our graphs are rendered in SVG within the client, but when we send them off in an email, in order to be able to embed them in certain outdated email software, we have to render them into images to send them off.
Where's all your data coming from?
So all the data at the moment is coming from Google AdWords. So we connect to the agency's Google account, and we just fetch the data on a nightly basis from them.
So you're collecting search engine, search
Yes,
words. So you're not
right.
collecting emails yet and all that kind of stuff.
No, so we're doing search advertising and display advertising, but solely on the Google network.
No, I mean, I've been working in the advertising agencies for 10 years, and it's remarkable because we would struggle for weeks to create those spreadsheets, and we know that the client is looking at one single thing, looking good to the senior person at the client and so forth, and it goes to the highest level, to the C-level. But the question is, do you allow the client to access this raw data as well? Can the client enter this and start to pinpoint where the problems are in your agency, where your failures are?
Right, so there's a few things. It depends on the agency. So we have 3 pilot agencies using it at the moment. We have 2 in Belgium and 1 in the UK. And it depends. Certain agencies want to open it up to their clients, and others are like, no, this is an internal productivity tool, and so we don't really want our clients sort of meddling into this. But I would say we're definitely building, the kind of features we're building are agency focused. Whether they then decide to provide access to their clients is really for them to decide.
If they're a good one, then...
I'm a marketer at a big company, and I would see myself using something like this. Why only advertising agencies?
Well, this is the thing. There's definitely a major problem when it comes to communicating about data, and I don't think that it's true only for the advertising business. But what I do think is that you need to come up with very customized solutions to this. So I don't really believe in one-size-fits-all when it comes to data. So we can't do it all at the same time. I strongly encourage people to create data storytelling platforms around other types of data, But at the moment, the advertising business is one of those areas where you can build a business around data, and it's not necessarily true around other types of data. And the data is also easy to get to.
Okay, 30 seconds on the clock. Last call. Raise your hand. Going once. Going twice.
I got a random question.
Yes, sure.
Has nothing to do with technology.
Okay.
Have you ever thought about being Harry Potter for Halloween?
I haven't. But after the previous presentation, I'm thinking I might want to appear in some movies.
Good looking.
Good luck. Additionally,